I need it. I'm telling y'all, lock it in.
I need a sports podcast. I need it now.
Yo, what is good, everybody? Welcome back to the I Need It Sports Podcast. It's your host with the most, Bryce, my dog Chris, my dog Swan. Cam will be on a little bit later, man, but it's that time of the year when you're seeing this. We will have already dropped our top 10 QBs episode. That was an interesting episode. We missed Chris on that one, but we got him on the pod today for a little divisional previews. We starting off with the East divisions first up. AFC East as of right now, July 30th. When we're recording this tomorrow, football is back, boys. First preseason game, Lions versus Chargers in the Hall of Fame game down in Ohio. It's been a long time coming, but it's good to have some football back on the TV screen because it's been getting a little dry these last couple weeks. Like baseball, cool, but I can only watch so much of that. And then the WNBA, it's here and there. Like I enjoy it, but shoot, everybody injured right now. So
You enjoyed last night?
man, that's crazy.
Seeing green.
Oh my god, I don't even know when this is gonna drop. So when this drops, nobody's even gonna really know what I'm talking about. Like I said, we recording this July 30th. Yesterday, July 29th. And what was that? Was that the Atlanta Dream and the Wings playing?
Like a minute left in the game.
A minute left, and it was a tie. It was a tie game.
It was the Valkyries.
The Valkyries. It was a tied game.
Like it was a good game.
It was a good game. And someone threw a lime green dildo on the court, and then they zoomed in on it, not knowing what it was. The commentator was like, "Oh, okay, y'all. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know why he did that. The cameraman fouled us, bro. The cameraman like,
bro.
Right
my thing is, Cam, Atlanta has a clear bag policy. How can you get that in?
I have no idea.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
That's diabolical. So it was used then.
I mean, that's what you count as used. It wasn't broken in.
Okay. Oh man,
it was in their butt on the way there.
Why they butt? Because it's Atlanta.
Yeah.
Why it gotta be in there all the way there? Why can't it?
Atlanta? Everything goes in that butt, bro.
That's crazy. Speaking from experience, that was smart.
Whoa. I live in Houston, sir.
Yo.
But you from Atlanta?
No, I'm not. I'm from Dallas.
Don't lie for the pod.
I'm from Dallas.
Bro, you said you spent your whole childhood in Atlanta, bro.
No. I'm not Cam Newton. You're not
Dwight Howard.
I'm not Dwight Howard. I'm not Cam Newton.
Oh man. Oh damn.
I ain't Young Thug, man.
Get in there.
Get in there. I'm so 18, yeah. But yeah, man, let's get into this AFC East preview 2025-2026 NFL season, man. So first things up. So here we go. Last year, obviously, to nobody's surprise, Buffalo Bills won the division, and they were actually the only team from this division to make the playoffs. Miami had a very down year given their expectations coming in. Jets, got Aaron Rodgers back at the time. Didn't do anything with that. We know how that went. And then the Patriots were drafting fourth in the draft, but they towards the end of the year, they kind of seemed to solidify. Okay, Drake May, like this is a quarterback we can truly build around moving forward. But headed into this season, as you guys see, Buffalo still the perennial heavy favorite for the division. Miami not even second anymore. They done boosted New England, I guess, because the Mike Vrabel hire and some of the things New England's done. New England got that nod. Miami comes in third. The Jets in fourth. Off the top of the head, like every year in the NFL, there's a case where some team goes from worst to first in the division. And I mean, like maybe this doesn't happen this year, but it happens every year. So it's like you kind of gotta. It's gonna be somebody. You don't necessarily know who, but do y'all foresee one of these teams? Like, do you? The Patriots were last place. Do you think the Patriots have any shot at winning this division for real? Because I mean, they from worse, and now they got the second best odds. I know it's just Vegas odds. Injuries can play a part, all that. But I mean, Vrabel's supposed to change the culture there. Maybe turn things around. Maybe Drake May takes a leap in his sophomore season. Who knows? Y'all see the Patriots somehow upsetting the Bills and taking first in the AFC East?
Nah. Bills got too much power over there. I think they could be second in the division and perhaps like possibly be like that last seed to make it in the playoffs, like 6 seed or something like that. But as far as upsetting the Bills, just like one did, the most consistent divisions in the last couple of years with the Bills winning. So no, I don't see that happening. But like I said, I can see them being second though, because with Miami, like their entire secondary is out with injuries. They just lost their starting corner today. I think he tore his ACL. And then,
Miami's they training camp and rough.
yeah, they
Everybody going
lost
down injury
their
over
their
there.
entire defense is like banged up. They have no secondary besides Micah Fitzpatrick. And then the Jets, you got Justin Fields as your starting QB now, and so we got to see how that goes with Aaron Glenn making his debut as the head coach. So I got New England second on that one.
Okay. What about you, Chris? You giving the Patriots any shot to go from worst to first or nah?
Not first. Probably second to Cam's point. It sucks because like Miami, like they were supposed to be good for like the past 2 years, and they just kind of not been that. And so, yeah, somebody got to be second. It'll probably it. I mean, but okay, it's Justin Fields. Justin Fields the one that's in New York?
Yeah, Justin
Yeah.
Fields is the starting quarterback for the Jets.
So we not feeling that?
I want to have faith in it, but at this point,
I mean, they still got Garrett Wilson.
they do.
But it's just Garrett Wilson only though.
Who was their
Yeah.
running back last year?
They got Brees
It's
Hall.
Brees Hall.
Bro,
I want to believe in
I'd
them.
go over 5.5, but I won't say they'll be second. I'll
Okay.
put it that way.
Okay. Yeah. I feel it. Because a couple years ago, I was a Justin Fields believer. I was like, oh no, he gonna bounce back. Like he gonna be good in Chicago, and then he didn't. And then I was like, last year, I was like, shoot, I feel like he can, beat out Russell Wilson. And he did have the starting job for a little bit while Russ was banged up early on, but then obviously Russ took over and they kind of went away from him and only brought him in the packages. It's just like Justin Fields going on year 5, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Do you give him any grace that all them years you've talked about how Chicago's coaching staff?
For sure.
Yeah, okay.
For
right.
sure.
We got confirmation now with last year. With Pittsburgh though, is there any I mean, they was trying to make a playoff run, so you kind of go towards the guy with more experience. That's no, dagger to Justin Fields. I think it's all been circumstantial.
Yeah, no, it is, but that's also why I'm not like this. Is why I'm like it's kind of a double-edged sword, I guess, so to speak. Like I don't want to throw too much hype on him and be like, oh, he gonna do this.
Fair.
Because I feel like he's still somewhat in the same circumstances as Chicago, because the New York Jets have been the same exact organization. But honestly, they did just like Swan said, they just hired Aaron Glenn as their head coach. Maybe he will be the coach to finally turn around. But shoot, the Jets ain't been in the playoffs since we was in like middle school. So it's like hard to believe in them at this point.
Mark Sanchez.
Yeah.
Bro, get the fuck out of my
The
house with that, bro.
The last QB they had, I remember that the last QB they had that was going to go to the playoffs when they had Fitzpatrick. You remember Brandon Marshall? They lost to the Steelers.
Brandon Marshall, bro. He's my fantasy team. He was so good.
They lost to the Steelers because they had a tiebreaker. They're playing Big Ben. Big Ben won. They got the last spot. Just had lost. I think Fitzpatrick threw a pick to end the game or something like that.
Yeah, for that's why I don't want to like say they're gonna be good with Justin Fields, because it's like I feel like that's unfair to him, because like you asked him to change some deep organizational trauma that don't really got nothing to do with him with an unproven head coach. Not saying Aaron Glenn won't be good, but it's an unproven head coach. This is his first time doing it. So that's to be seen. But I would say I don't think New England's gonna go worse to first this year. And the only way, like the only possible way they would do it is a way I wouldn't want to see it. Like, knock on wood, the only way I think that realistically happens, not saying it can't happen whatsoever. But the only way I can see it happening is if something happened to Josh Allen, he got hurt and was
Yeah.
out for the year. So Buffalo had a down season. But if there's a healthy Josh Allen on the field, I don't see them losing that division.
Yeah,
But I do
no.
see that I can see the Patriots definitely turning things around with Vrabel. I think Vrabel's a great coach. I don't think they'll like completely turn around this year. Like we'll see the signs of it. I think they could finish second in the division. But next year, 2027 or 2026, 2027, I actually do think there's a real possibility that they do win the AFC East next year in Drake May's second year of Vrabel's system. But for now, he just got to kind of turn everything out and like set the culture, which I think he'll do because he did that in Tennessee with much lesser talent with Ryan Tannehill, and he had them as damn near a Super Bowl contender until they made the they trade away AJ
AJ
Brown,
Brown.
drafted Burton, yeah, and then we seen how that
Made that
ended up
super
for them.
team, boy. That super
Yeah,
team.
he made that super team.
But we literally drafted,
bait, bro.
bro.
But yeah, I can see them definitely having a good season, but for what they've added this offseason, I mean, like I said, they obviously got rid of the coaching staff. Whether it was kind of fair or not to get rid of Mayo after 1 year, especially given the talent he had, it's not like I exp- I don't think anybody expected the Patriots to be good last year. But I mean, like I guess it was just that bad in the locker room, so they didn't do that. So they fire him, bring in Mike Vrabel, another former Patriot, proven head coach though. And then probably the biggest offseason signing is Stephon Diggs, who's returning off an ACL injury. But all reports early out of camp is he looks as healthy as can be, and it's only been like 8.5 months since the injury. So that gives Drake May a certified wide receiver one. I mean, if y'all want to think back to 5 years ago, I think it was when the Bills got Stephon Diggs, you seen what it did for Josh Allen, turned him from one of the worst QBs in the league and kind of got his career jump started. I think that's a good pickup. They were able to re-sign Austin Hooper, the tight end. They kind of got two key pieces on the edge on defense with Harold Landry and Levon Chasen.
Don't
So I mean,
forget,
they rebuilt the roster and put
I
pieces
say,
there
don't
where I
forget
think,
they also got Milton Williams too on defense on their front
yeah.
line.
So that's what I'm saying. I think they've done like for a rebuilding team, they've put those first foundational pieces there to like truly start the rebuild. And like I said, last year they got their quarterback Drake May. Now they didn't play him for the first half of the season for whatever reason, but he got quality time last year to get some quality starts under his belt. He did kind of deal with some concussions, which worried me a bit because I mean, like he was running the football, and that's one of his like added attributes is he's a mobile quarterback. But it's like if you taking some hits, them concussions ain't nothing to play with, as we see from other players, shit, especially in this division with Tua. So if he can stay upright, stay healthy, that's crazy. That's crazy.
What?
You going there?
Cause bro, I was gonna do it, bro, but like I can't let my twisted thoughts
What are
go
y'all talking about?
Yeah.
Oh,
on
shit.
them crib, bro.
I'm dead. But and then on the back end too, they did sign Carlton Davis and Marcus Epps, so kind of sure up some of their secondary to go with their young talent Gonzalez that everybody's pretty high on. So I like what they did. Their over under is 8.5 wins. That kind of shows you the respect they've gotten just already headed into the season with all these changes and Vrabel at head coach. Now, I think coming from what they finished like 3-14 the year before, I believe last year, or 4-13, was that what
Something
it
like that.
was? I'm like to go from that to 8.5. That's tough. But like we said, we had these worst to first situations, and maybe it's not worst to first, but maybe it's like Commanders last year where they were worse, and then they almost were first, but they were right there under Philly with 12 wins. Maybe we see something like that for New England. So I would give them that. I would take the 8.5. I'm not gonna bet it because I'm not that confident about it, but I could see them getting 9-win season or 10-win season. Like I don't think any year in Tennessee, besides maybe that last year before they finally let go, I don't think Vrabel ever had a losing season for real. Like when they had their players in his system, they were good to go. The year they didn't win is the year they got rid of Brown and Henry got hurt in the middle of the season. So if they stay relatively healthy, I think Vrabel is going to do what needs to be done for the Patriots to finish high up in this division and have a good season comparative to their recent history. So, how y'all feel about them?
I can see. I want to say, I'm like you said, I'm kind of like I can see it being 9 wins. I'm not gonna bet it. Realistically, I could see them being like 7-10, something like that, like around that range.
Okay.
7-10 or like 8-9, like something like close to that. If they
So
do
you,
get 9, yeah. If they do get 9, I mean, like that's a great season. That's a great turnaround.
no, it is a great turnaround for sure.
But realistically, I can see them being like 7-10, 8-9 because you could probably, like I said, it's gonna be some growing pains sometimes.
Yeah. Let me see. I'm pull up their schedule real quick, Chris. But you can say what you think about the Patriots. I just want to see like because they're getting the last place schedule.
It's just like they got a greater chance of making the playoffs than the Dolphins. That's just I don't know, bro. I feel like that's a bluff. And you brought up the Commanders, but I think last season, like I think as a group collectively though, we kind of all agreed that Washington was going to be that worst of first team, and they ended up being that and more. I didn't think they were going to be like making the Eagles kind of sweat right in that championship game. But I don't feel that way about the Patriots. I'm not saying they're gonna suck. I think they can get 8 wins, maybe not. I mean, you can go through the schedule. That'll probably make me feel better about it. I ain't looked at it, so
Yeah, I got it pulled up now. Because I mean, too, you got to remember since they finished in last place, they also get the benefit of having a last place schedule.
Yeah.
And like, obviously we're gonna talk about all the other teams, but initial thoughts from what it sounds like we're saying, like it's not like we necessarily too high on the other two teams in the division besides the Bills. So it's like they get 2 games against the Dolphins and Jets.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I feel pretty confident that they could at the very least split them games.
Split them. Yeah, that's fair.
And I'm not gonna lie, given Vrabel is a defensive minded coach and a great one at that, I still think Buffalo wins it, but I would not be surprised if the Patriots were able to steal one from Buffalo because they've actually been able to do that the last couple years when they were bad.
That's
Vrabel,
fair.
I think Vrabel's gonna have something for Josh Allen. Like,
well, I wonder what that schedule is because you know how Buffalo do before they play y'all.
Oh yeah.
And so if that game is before y'all, they're gonna lose that game.
Yeah. But
if it's after y'all, they're gonna lose that game.
They open up the season with the Raiders at home, and I think that's also. Are they doing? I don't remember. They're supposed to be unveiling the Tom Brady statue. I don't know if they're gonna do that the first preseason game or it's the first home game. But I feel like it's the first home game. I feel like it would wait for week 1.
That's like doing the ring ceremony preseason.
Yeah, but I feel like you can't lose that game. You
can't lose that game when it's at home.
Yeah,
and I mean, hey, if the books got high hopes, the fan base definitely got high hopes.
Oh,
so
yeah.
You cannot lose that game.
Yeah, they definitely excited. And then week 2 at the Dolphins, week 3 Steelers, week 4 Panthers, week 5 is at the Bills. So I mean,
that's
those first 5 weeks, start. I can see them starting 2-2 like off the bat. Yeah. And they probably don't win that one because it's in Buffalo.
Yeah.
But then they get the Saints and the Titans the next 2 weeks. I'm not too high on the Saints and Titans this year.
And Vrabel gonna want to win that Titans game. That's a guaranteed dub.
Yeah. Then they got the Browns, who God knows who's even
starting. They don't even know.
Them. They got the Falcons. I think
that's a toss up.
I'm kind of high on the Falcons this year, but we'll get to that further.
I say I'm really high on the Falcons this year.
Yeah, that's okay. So we'll say 5-3.
Yeah, at the Bucks, that's probably a loss.
Yeah, that's probably a loss. 5-4.
Then they got the Jets at home. I think they can win that
6-1.
At the Bengals.
So that'll be the game. That'll be the game where it's like, are they for real?
Yeah,
that'll be the game where because I think we said 6-4 at this point. Yeah. That's like the okay. Are you for real? Game.
This usually the time because maybe they'll change this year because they said they're playing in the preseason Bengals that is, but that's usually the time the Bengals start heating up from their slow start and they start catching fire. So that will be a great test.
That's a nice like Thursday night game. Like I watched that shit. That'd be a tough game. Okay, I don't know if I want to. I don't know. That's 6-4. I wouldn't call it. I can't call that.
Yeah, and then they get the Giants at home.
Okay,
And
that's
then
at least
they got a late ass bye week, which is what you want. So they'll go through that gauntlet of 13 games, get a fresh bye, and then they get the Bills off the bye at home.
Who did the Bills have before that? That's what I want to know.
I don't know.
Did somebody did get the dog
We
shit
gonna figure
beat
it out
of
when we get to them. I'll go to their schedule. We get to them, but yeah, that could be
Okay,
interesting.
I mean that's at least 7 games.
Then they got to go to the Ravens week 16, but then they finish with the Jets and Dolphins. So
see, that's 8 games. That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
So yeah,
Vegas be knowing.
The bookies know. The bookies know.
Bookies
Okay,
know.
they make it a little sense.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
that Bengals game gonna be something, bro.
That's why I said I could see them being like 7-10 or 8-9, something like around that range.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
And this is before we find out about the injuries and everything like that.
Yeah.
So, but I can see them like 7 without the injuries. I could see them being like 7-10, 8-9 at best. If anything could change, you just never know.
You never know, but
we'll see. Week 5, I'll make my decision if I want to watch this team and hop on the bandwagon.
Yeah, we'll see. But I'm not gonna lie. Obviously, it's gonna sound crazy saying this, and I'm sure somebody will watch this and be like, "What the hell is he talking about?" But just certain spurts, I caught of them last year because I wanted to see how Drake May transition to the NFL, just since he was a top draft pick, and then of course they kind of sat him on the bench to kind of learn. But he does, funny enough, have some Josh Allen in him. He's not quite as big, but he is, I think, like 6'3". And I don't even know if y'all will know this or if you realize this, but y'all remember it was probably like in high school, North Carolina had a guy on a basketball team named Luke May.
You talking about his brother?
Yeah, he was a power forward. He was on the team when they played Lonzo and them during the tournament.
Yeah, I remember that.
He was on the championship teams. Yeah. His whole family is athletes. So his brother
they all
at
like,
UNC.
Yeah, they all hoopers.
And Drake May also and Stephon Diggs, I was listening to his interview with Kay Adams earlier, a snippet of that. And he was basically saying, he's like, you wouldn't look at him and be able to tell that. He was kind of being funny. But he's like, he actually his basketball skills kind of transferred to when he's moving in and out of the pocket and taking off and like making moves. It's like he got some agility to him too. It's not just throw the ball. So a lot of teams, a lot of teams don't prepare for that necessarily, and we didn't get to see it as much. But that's something teams are gonna have to account for too. And I think he's gonna be able to burn a lot of teams with his legs, not expecting it. But that's where I was saying also last year he did start running a little bit, and then he kind of got hit one time and got a concussion. It was like, you don't like to see that with your rookie quarterback. And then I think they brought him back, and then they ended up having to sit him because they're like, no, he gotta go back out. So
his
legs are a factor, and I think like it's a very, at this point in his career, since we haven't seen much of him, it's a very underrated part of his game that I don't think a lot of people realize. But like he can definitely run the football too and make all the throws as well. So I'm interested to see how he does. And he's got Josh McDaniels too, who terrible head coach, but he's a great OC. So he had Mac Jones as a Pro Bowler. Mac Jones rookie year. I would expect him to do great things with Drake May as well. So that's his benefit.
Yes, with this one, because I look at his brothers, bro. I forgot his dad played football. He played for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and then his brother was also a pitcher for the Gators. They won at 2017 College World Series. So his whole family, like you said, just crazy full of athletes, bro.
No, for sure.
And then he been to our football because him and Sam Howell best friends, and him and Mason Rudolph are best friends.
Yes, sir.
That's like I got a generational curse. I need to break the generational curse. We got to start somewhere, right?
Yeah. Look, I'm finna add our guy. Look who's here, gentlemen. Damn.
Bro, put a shirt on, bro.
You trying to flex tattoos?
You look violent.
It's been a long day, bro.
Trying to flex tattoos?
You look violent.
See it?
You trying to flex tattoos, man?
You see it, man?
I would clutch my purse if I was walking around.
See it, man?
Oh my god.
What's up, boys?
But yeah, man. So back to the AFC East preview. We got our guy Cam on now, full team. But we were discussing Cam when you got in. We were just getting to it. We're basically saying, obviously in one division every year in the NFL, it's a team that goes worst to first. And this year for the AFC East, that would be the Patriots. And they made the changes they made this offseason. Obviously, they hired Vrabel as head coach, got Stephon Diggs, shored up the defense, got a lot of pieces in free agency, drafted a right tackle or left tackle, fourth pick of the draft this year, Drake May, year 2. And Vegas, we went through their schedule like game by game. Vegas kind of right on the money. We could see them like if they're like what we think they can be, maybe getting over that 8.5, finishing with like 9-10 wins, or maybe keeping it close and they drop a few games under. Do you give them any real shot to be the AFC East champion this year? Because I said basically if they're the AFC East championship this year, realistically in my mind, that means something happened to Josh Allen that knocked him out and the Bills didn't have him. But if not, I could see them being second. But next year, I think they do take that leap and they have a real chance of winning the AFC East and competing with Buffalo. This year, I'm still kind of tempered, but I think they'll be a much improved team with Vrabel changing the culture around.
Yeah, no, I don't. Like you said, something had to like happen to like Josh Allen if the Patriots go from like worst to first. I think realistically, I can see them being like second or third. Because I mean, Vrabel's going to have that defense going. Like he's going to have that defense going. They should win at least minimum 8 games. I think they probably max out probably like at 10 though. I can see them win like 10 games. But I think they get to second. I think they get to second, and then I think they have a real shot at making the playoffs at least.
Okay, that's fair. And so then moving on to the Jets, I'm assuming everybody here, and we kind of touched on the obviously Justin Fields is going to be their starting quarterback this year. Nobody really sees a realistic way Jets make the playoffs. The Jets going to Jets.
Jets going to Jets. Jets going to Jets.
Getting over 5.5 wins though.
That's low. That's
wait. Go through their schedule. You didn't do their schedule. Were you going to do all their schedule or no?
I can if you want to. So
that's up to y'all. I know we went to the Patriots.
Week 1, they got Pittsburgh at home. Mm-hmm. Week 2, they got the Bills at home. Mm-hmm. Week 3, they're at Tampa Bay. Week 4, at Miami. Week 5, at home for the Cowboys. Week 6, the Broncos in I think that's London.
Bro, they're gonna start 0-6, bro. They may go 1-5. They may win against my Cowboys. I don't know, but 0-6, bro. I'm not feeling it.
Okay, yeah. Week 7, the Panthers. Week 8, at the Bengals. Bye week, week 9. Week 10, the Browns at home. Week 11, at the Patriots. Week 12, at the Ravens. Week 13, Falcons. Week 14, Dolphins at home. Week 15, at Jacksonville. Week 16, at New Orleans. Week 17, home for the Patriots.
So that last like 6 weeks would be like, oh, they gonna get the over or under or not. Like, but that's such a. You would think they did really good last season, or at least like mid pack.
That's a tough 6 games. 6 games.
Yeah, that sucks.
Even Carolina not no pushover.
That's what I was like. I made a face, but I was like,
yeah. So that is the Division 2 that the AFC East drew from the NFC this year is the NFC South. And then they got the 2 extra games versus their equivalent last year on the NFC side. So, yeah. So, Jets, the Jets gonna jet, and it's gonna be another tough season. I'm just hoping they give my guy Justin a real chance. Hopefully, see him and Garrett Wilson connection flourish and things like that. But
maybe
not
they
much
beat
hope.
Pittsburgh that first game. Maybe they beat Pittsburgh that first game.
That's gonna be very. I mean, Justin Fields got some added motivation, but that's gonna be a very tough game for him.
It's gonna be like 10-9.
Okay, and then Miami. This is kind of the biggest one, and obviously, like I said, we're recording this July 30th. They're already like their secondary is already razor thin with the injuries they've had in training camp. I think it just came out today. I'm blanking on his name. Is it a Tau or a two? What's the corner? Some corner just tore their ACL for Miami. Literally, it was
It was
confirmed.
Kadu.
Kadu, yeah, him. So like, obviously they made the random trade to trade away Jalen Ramsey for Minka Fitzpatrick and bring him back, and then they brought Darren Waller back out of retirement and traded with the Giants. But other than that, obviously they had a lot of commotion the end last year. Tyreek, all his antics, basically saying like he was leaving after the season was over. He didn't want to be there no more. They weren't giving him the ball. And then Tua last week was interviewed after one of their first training camp practices, and he basically said, "Oh yeah, Tyreek ain't just fully back and accepted yet. Like he's got work to do. Like with us, with the team, like you can't just say the things he said and then come back like everything's fine." Which I agree with. But I don't necessarily agree with saying that to the press and making that a soundbite when you could just handle that in the locker room.
Tua's a funny dude, bro.
Yeah, so
especially not wearing the helmet.
Yeah, especially given Tua's history of not or coming up short in the clutch. So they got them, like I said, the Patriots leapfrogged them to be favored as second in the division. They got them at plus 800, and the Dolphins are looking like they're going to miss the playoffs. And now they're like, oh, Mike McDaniel, he probably get fired if this season is bad. And it's like, I'm not saying Mike McDaniel is a good coach, but I think the one glaring issue is what I said last year. They should have never signed Tua to a long-term contract and gave him all that money when he's not proven, and now you're stuck. I don't think there's a route for Miami to be like a real contender with Tua at quarterback. Yes, they can be decent. They can make the playoffs, wild card. They'll do nothing when they get there. And if they do that this year, I'll eat my words. I'll literally just clip that. I'll come back and own up to, but I just don't see it with him. And I don't see it with their team this year, especially given how their training camp has started. The defense was already like, ooh, what are they gonna be? And now, shit, they don't even got a secondary. Like, that's gonna be a tough division, especially when the Bills own them year in, year out. Patriots, we think, are gonna make a leap. The Jets, we're not high on them, but shit, they probably still be competitive with them. It's a divisional game. So, but I'm finna pull up their schedule now so we can run through that one. But what's y'all's thoughts on the Dolphins?
Sanders, you wanna go?
I'll tell you this: if Tua does like end up, because it's been past couple years, he's been missing games. If he does miss a few games, watch out for Quinn Ewers, because I don't know, somehow, for real, bro, for real. I don't know how or what, but on Twitter, I've somehow managed to get on the Miami Dolphins side of Twitter. So I've just been seeing Quinn Ewers just lighting up training camp, whatever. He looks good, man. He looks good, and he's not a bad quarterback. Like, he's not like awful. He was just hurt, like he was just hurt a lot in college. But I mean, he can make all the throws or whatever. But no, if Tua does get hurt, why just look out for Quinn, man. Just look out for Quinn.
Okay, what if Tua is bad? Do you think there's a world where Quinn Ewers ends up playing towards the end of the season?
Oh, for sure. Like, if Tua is like real bad and the Dolphins have like 4 or 5 wins, yeah, for sure. I can definitely see him.
I mean, it's still technically it's just year 2 after they paid him, so I don't know if they would be ready to make such a cutthroat move. But I'm like, that's why I said you shouldn't have paid him, but they did. So now they're kind of stuck in a hard place. Like, if this truly don't pan out this year, but you got a motivated Tyreek and all that stuff, so maybe they turn it around, but who knows?
I thought Quinn Ewers, you bro, how the hell you say
Quinn Ewers?
Ewers. I thought he wasn't good.
He decent.
Nah,
it's just,
and I heard it from somebody on the panel that he wasn't good.
Look, the last two times he was in the college football playoffs, he was hurt both times, and it just didn't it wasn't looking good. Like, it just didn't look good. So that's why, like, everybody thoughts, even my thoughts, it was like, oh, this guy's not. But I mean, he's accurate, man. Like, he's a really good, like, accurate type of quarterback. He can be a good game manager in the NFL, I feel like.
Okay.
He can put some pressure on Tua.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, this is how they open their season. They're at Indianapolis with the Colts. Week 2, they got
Okay.
the Patriots at home. Week 3 at Buffalo. Week 4 with the Jets. So shit. They open up the season with 3 divisional games in the first 4 weeks. You fuck around and don't get off to a good start. You already
Yeah.
out of the playoff picture like that because those are
Yeah.
divisional games. Week 5 at the Panthers. Week 6 at home versus the Chargers. Week 7 at the Browns. Week 8 at the Falcons. Week 9 Ravens. Week 10 Bills at home. Week 11 Commanders, and that's a game that's out of the country. Week 12 bye. Week 13 Saints. Week 14 at the Jets. Week 15 at the Steelers. Week 16 Cincinnati at home. Week 17 Tampa Bay. Week 18 at New England. And low key, because their win total is set at 8.5. Low key, that game with New England at the end of the year could be a game
be
that's
a
for that
game.
last wild card spot for like
Yeah.
9-10 wins.
It could
in
be the
second
game
place
for both.
division.
It could be that 8.5 for both of them that
Yeah.
game.
And that will be in New England, so it will be cold.
And and
Oh well, there's that. That's automatic, boss.
Damn.
That's automatic.
What you think, Swan? You think Miami got a chance of getting back to that team we seen 2 years ago? Or is it just is downhill from here? Like it's just too much going on in that organization and they kind of handicap themselves giving Tua that big contract and now Tyreek with his antics, all that stuff.
Shit trash, man. You ain't going back. I've been said that. Throw up gang signs, man.
Oh my god.
Bro, I'm sorry, bro.
Travis,
Somebody-
if you watch this, I'm so sorry, bro.
No, don't no. F that. Somebody put his stable ass in front of Traylon Hurts, bro.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I was on Twitter, bro, and somebody like,
Well, they
all right.
got Tua ranked above Jalen.
And I said, all right, bro, y'all put a disabled above here, bro. Y'all tripping.
Stop, bro. You need to
Yeah, censor that out, bro. But yes.
Yeah, you need to tell Dolphins fans you sorry and go ahead and put a heart up in the camera.
I got you. Hold on. Right, yeah.
Oh, oh y'all going to hell.
Go to hell.
Oh my god. Well, on to the Bills, who from what I've heard, we all have barring any Josh Allen injury this year, knock on wood, obviously don't want to see that happen to the reigning MVP. They should win the division. They're negative 300 favorites, over under 11.5 wins. This is where it gets a little interesting. Do y'all think, because Buffalo and Baltimore are the two teams that have had the highest DVOA ranking as a team the last 5 years and haven't made a Super Bowl. And like, I get it. You know, people keep saying, oh, well, the Chiefs have to fall off at some point. Do y'all think there's any regression in Buffalo? Because they've won over 11.5 games the last 2-3 years, been second place in the AFC every year. And then they're coming off. Like, they had an amazing year. Obviously, nobody thought they would have that great of a year last year since the whole Stephon Diggs. Thought the offense would take a step back, but they were great. But then they lost to the Chiefs once again for the second year in a row, fourth time in the last 6 years. How stinging is that? And I'll ask this last question before I pass it off to you. This year, do y'all think it would be more painful for the Bills and Bills fans to make it back to the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl and lose, or make it to the playoffs and lose to the Chiefs again? Which one would be more painful?
Making it to the Super Bowl? No, if they gotta beat Mahomes to make it to the Super Bowl and they do, and then they lose, oh my, they gonna jump off the stadium, bro. After they shovel it, because ownership be having them shovel it for free. That's just sad. I'm starting to get Buffalo fatigue though, bro. Like I'm over it. I ain't gonna lie. Like they either need to do it or just don't. Like it's almost the same argument with you made it with the Dolphins. Like they could be a decent team. They could probably make the playoffs, but they're not gonna win it all. Like that's how I'm starting to feel about them.
Yeah, and like I said, I mean, I think I saw a stat the other day. Shoot, Josh Allen is 10-19 versus divisional winning teams in his career. And it's like, Yeah, he plays amazing in the wild card games versus lesser opponents, the 7th seed. Most divisional games, he's not that great. He had that 2021 playoff run is carrying him. And now y'all see me arguing with Bills fans every day now on Twitter. 2021, he had the perfect passer rating versus New England. Then he had the great game versus the Chiefs where they lost with the 13 seconds. It wasn't his fault. But ever since then, name me off the top. What's the memorable Josh Allen playoff moment from 2022 until now? You can't do it because he hasn't had one. The next year he got whooped by Cincinnati and Buffalo. Next year he got beat by the Chiefs at home, where that was really the one he was supposed to win because they were like, oh, he just always lost because the game was in Arrowhead. Now it's in Highmark in Buffalo. He got it. They lost that one. Last year they won the divisional because they played the Ravens, the other playoff dropper team. But Josh didn't do anything amazing that game. The defense won the Buffalo Bills that game with the turnovers they caused the Ravens to commit. And then they lost to the Chiefs once again, where, oh, this is the year they finally do it. So, like, at this point, and I can't wait till we get to our first, like, actual episode so I can do my ladders and stuff. But at this point, like, shit, I don't even think, like, I hate how much blame their fans and media put on McDermott and the defense because they're not bad. They just don't beat the Chiefs. But everywhere else, they play good. And Josh Allen, for like as high as he's regarded, obviously people keep saying he's the best QB in the league. When does he finally get over the hump himself? Like it's getting to the point where like he needs to get held accountable like Lamar does. I'm not saying Lamar hasn't been worse in the playoffs, but for the way Josh Allen gets hyped up for how good he is, he has to also get or be held accountable for the lack of playoff success. Because they're both entering, I think this is Allen's year 8 or year 9 and Lamar's year 7, year 8 or something like that. Shit, like these dudes not getting younger. And like as we see, it's some young talent in the league now that's coming up there. CJ Stroud could take a leap. Jaden Daniels, obviously, we think could be top 3 one day. Like, if not now, then when? So I don't know, man.
Doris Burke got to start the discourse. Somebody on that side somebody on that side got to start the discourse.
And they won't
That's
ever.
all. That's all I gotta say. That's all.
They won't ever do it, man. They won't ever hold them accountable. But they are, as of right now, July 30th today, they are the Super Bowl favorite to win. So that's why I always say
what?
that we do this every year. They are the Vegas odds. They are the number 1 favorite to win the Super Bowl. So I'm just saying, bookmark this right now, Bills
That's
Mafia.
crazy.
Y'all hear me say it? I'm clipping it. 1 hour, 16-minute marker, recording this. If they're the best team headed into the season and they don't have any major injuries, which is just Josh Allen for real, why can't they get it done? Because they're always they've been a top 3 favorite since 2022. Ever since that 13-second game, they've been the favorite, our top 3 favorite every year. And every year they get to the playoffs and don't get it done, and they're like, oh, it's the defense. It's McDermott. This player didn't catch this pass. And it's like, Josh Allen didn't play perfect. He didn't. Y'all, I don't know if y'all seen me retweet that video someone put together of all the turnover-worthy plays he's had the last couple playoff games where the defense just failed to capitalize. And it's like, damn, defenses sure seem to catch the ball when Lamar throw it or scoop the fumble when Lamar fumble it. But when Josh does it, it don't happen that way. So people forget, and then because it don't show up on the stat sheet, they're like, oh, Josh Allen just played perfect. It's not his fault. Shit, when does the best QB in the league, from what I hear, when does the best QB ever get excuses like that? We don't do that shit for LeBron at 40. They won't even give him excuses.
At 40.
We don't do that shit for Patrick, no matter what's wrong with the offensive line. It's like, oh, you made 3 Super Bowls in a row and got blown out in the 3rd. You fucking suck. You can't be number 1 quarterback no more.
Facts.
Lamar losing the playoffs. He had his turnovers, but he played well in that second half. Mark Andrews fumbled, then dropped the pass. Lamar, you fucking suck. You got to be better in the playoffs. Dak, you got to win in the like. When does it become that for Josh Allen? That's all.
It's crazy because Dak not even good.
He not.
And he get criticized.
He not. And we criticize him that Jalen Hurts will win the Super Bowl. Jalen, you can't be
good.
You can't be top 10 because you have too great of a team. Well, what these odds are saying is that the Bills have a great enough team. So when do we hold them accountable?
Actually,
And he got an MVP now too, because that was one thing we couldn't say. What Lamar's like, but you're an MVP, you gotta rise. Josh Allen has an MVP now. Whether he deserved it or not, that's an argument for another day. But he's got it. So when does he become?
And his MVP is like how Embiid got his MVP. That's how I look at it.
Voter fatigue.
Voter fatigue for real.
So
because Lamar had a way better year last year, but that's another story for another day.
That's all I'm saying, man. I think they'll go on to win the AFC East as they always do. I think they'll be a top 2 seed. Maybe they'll mess around and get the 1 seed this year as well. But when it comes playoff time, as of right now, if you got a healthy Josh Allen and you got most of your talent on the team healthy, what is the excuse? Because you're the Super Bowl favorite. So that's telling me you have the team to do it. And you have a legend at quarterback from what I hear. So finish the job. What Kobe say? Job's not finished. Finish it.
Bro, Kobe didn't say that, bro. Jason Tatum said that. Jason Tatum said
But, week 1, shit, that's why I'm excited for week 1 is going to be the most toxic shit ever on Twitter. You know who they got week 1? Baltimore, Sunday night game, week 1.
Oh, yeah. I'm being Vegas for that. I put my stuff in for that one.
Oh, yeah.
I got Baltimore money line.
Wait, what date is that?
September 7th.
September 7th.
First Sunday of NFL football.
Mm-hmm.
You bet in a month out
Yes.
for a single game?
Yeah. Well, no. I put for different games I'm betting on that when I go out there already. I got like a whole list of who I'm taking.
That one was on my radar too. I think.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I got Baltimore money.
I don't know what the odds are, but I'm assuming they're giving the Bills a field goal because they at home. So I'm assuming.
I got Baltimore for that one.
And then they got gambler.
not necessarily because I'm being Vegas already, so not really.
He said it's okay because he's in the state.
Yeah. It's okay to smoke crack if you in the crack house.
Yeah. You don't think go there just for food? No.
Yeah. But they got the Jets.
I'm finna show up.
They at the Jets week 2. Then they got the Dolphins at home week 3. Saints week 4. Week 5 at home for the Patriots. Week 6 at the Falcons. Week 7 bye. Week 8 at Panthers. Week 9 the Chiefs. They're Super Bowl. They're gonna win that one, and then they'll really be like, oh, this is the year. And I'll come on that week, and I'll be like, oh, hey, we'll see you in January. We'll have this discussion again. Week 10 at the Dolphins. Week 11 Tampa Bay at home. Week 12 at Houston. Week 13 at Pittsburgh. Week 14 Cincinnati at home. Week 15 at New England. Week 16 at Cleveland. Week 17 Eagles. Week 18 Jets. So I mean, it's a tough. They got some hitters in that schedule.
What week they had the Patriots?
They got the Patriots. Sorry, I just scrolled down and lost it. Where'd it go? They got the Patriots in week 15 on the road, and they got them in week 5 at home.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was hoping New England was still one of those games. I don't know now.
See, because I mean, they will be coming off of the Bengals game, and that could be a very tough game. So, like, they get beat up in that game and got to turn around and go to New England. That could be a tough one. So, and that whole stretch, I mean, that's a tough 3-week stretch even headed into the New England. It's at Houston, at Pittsburgh, Bengals at home. I'm not saying they will, but there is a real scenario where I think they could lose all 3 of those games, depending on how it goes. Because I'm not going to lie, I think Cincy's going to be better this year. I'm not saying they're finna be in the Super Bowl, but I think they'll be better. What doesn't get talked about a lot, because we haven't got to see it since Cincy has failed to make the playoffs, but what I say, 3 years ago, it was Cincy that walked into Buffalo, whooped that. Josh Allen's never beat Joe Burrow in his career. He's 0-2 against him, and we won't ever be able to know, and y'all don't laugh because we already done enough to go to hell this episode, but the other game that they played was the DeMar Hamlin game. I think Cincy would have won that one had DeMar Hamlin.
That'd be a real heartbreaker.
Oh my god.
They're terrible, bro. They're terrible.
Mhm.
Yeah, y'all
Chicken
going to
wicket.
hell.
Chicken wicket.
Y'all going to hell, man.
I go to hell for sure.
Y'all getting arrested.
And wasting heartbreaks.
Oh man. Yeah, man.
Right. Ain't that right, Cam? Real heartbreaker, huh?
Y'all getting cardiac arrest.
Cardiac
Yeah.
arrest is crazy.
Cam Sanders is a bad person.
He said nothing.
Bro, you said cardiac. You said cardiac arrest. Bro.
That was good. I shouldn't even have looked at his title. I should have just kept looking at Bryce.
Cam, bro, have you ever had your heart locked up, bro?
Nah, but I know somebody who did.
Oh my god.
What if
Okay,
was
we're
that on the
moving. I need it.